Since Eternal has been out for some time, I think it's time, to make a video on this discussion. Has Doom Eternal made Doom 2016 obsolete or hard to come back to? This was one of id Software's marketing ploy they've developed when Eternal was still in development, and it was definitely something I thought was a very bold statement because 2016 was an amazing game, and I was wondering if, it would turn out to be better than 2016. Honestly, I personally think that whole comment wasn't really as true as they make it to be. Keep in mind, this video is not me bashing Doom Eternal. I actually think Eternal is great in its own current state, and I cannot wait to see how much better it'll get with the future updates like the DLC expansions, more battle mode content, master levels, and maybe some other surprises here and there. I have stated that Eternal has a better campaign than 2016, and I was just giving my, impressions at that time when I was, playing the game, and that thought hasn't changed at all. It's a lot of fun to play, it's way more replayable than 2016, and it fixes some of the problems I have with 2016's campaign. Like, I love how Eternal's fights are a lot more frantic and thrilling. Like, those were the fights in Eternal are pretty much like the fights I wanted 2016 to have. However, there are some things I miss from 2016. I do miss the overpowered stun mod, siege mode, remote detonation, like basically a lot of the meta weapons for 2016 because they were a lot of fun to use. And Eternal pretty much, nerfed them, which doesn't really scratch that itch for me. I also miss I miss the simplicity of 2016's gameplay and mechanics. I think it's cool that id Software did experiment with 2016's mechanics for Eternal, but I do miss not having to constantly dash and flame belch in 2016. And I always feel like Eternal kind of destroyed Doom's simplicity because in Eternal, you gotta constantly keep your armor up, your chainsaw action for ammo, dash to dodge projectiles and enemies, and all of this just kind of destroys the simplicity of Doom since the original 1993 game. I also feel like I prefer the art style of 2016 more when I was replaying some of the missions just for fun, and it just seems to fit my taste. Especially in Hell. Like, I've always loved the 2016's hellish environments, and Eternal's art style isn't bad. I also like it, but overall I just feel like it's kind of not the same. I think it's just not like as gritty or realistic for my lack of choice of words to describe 2016's art style, but there's just like something about 2016 art style that really appeals to me when I play the game. Also, there's other aspects I like in 2016. Eternal's latest update did make battle mode more enjoyable with the new map and the better netcode, but it doesn't really change my opinion and how I feel about the mode, which to me it's still mediocre and pretty uncooked, and it makes 2016's multiplayer look like a crown jewel, which was the weakest portion of 2016. But at least it's more fun to go against actual players in a simplified arena shooter deathmatch setting than what battle mode is. And of course, Snap Map is probably the #1 thing that makes me come back to 2016. I've invested so much of my time into that mode, and I still have, desires to use it for playing maps and making maps when I feel like it, which Eternal doesn't include Snap Map, which I think a lot of die-hard Snap Map players probably didn't like or care about Eternal ever since id Software canceled Snap Map for Eternal. I definitely didn't like, this news when I first heard it, but honestly, I think I find myself not missing Snap Map in Eternal because it gives you a reason to come back to 2016, and Eternal's action was more frantic than 2016, which 2016's overall combat was the main reason why I used Snap Map in the first place, because I wanted to make maps that had fights that were more crazier than what 2016 had to scratch that itch. But since Eternal scratched that itch for me, I kind of feel like I don't need Snap Map, and I think we probably wouldn't have the upcoming DLCs for Eternal if Snap Map was a thing, and the upcoming DLCs and new master levels are the two things I'm really stoked for Eternal's future content update. Because Eternal is literally like the first new Doom game that will have expansion-esque content, it's pretty exciting news, for me to experience this, because this is definitely something that's going to be a first for, the new Doom series. So basically, I think Doom Eternal didn't really kill Doom 2016 or made it obsolete, where I feel like some people might have that, belief. I think Eternal is probably a game that's just promoting, people to play Doom 2016, because it has certain content that Eternal doesn't have, and that's the thing right there. Basically, id Software is getting more money if someone picked up, Doom Eternal as their first Doom game. And let's just say, they like it a lot and they can try out Doom 2016 afterwards and see what that game has to offer. So I feel like Doom Eternal, it didn't really kill Doom 2016, but it is still kind of like, helping the new Doom brand grow to like, players of this generation, if you would say. And that's pretty much my thoughts on this whole topic. I would like to hear what you guys think, and I'll comment if I have something to say. Thank you for watching, people.